Hi guys, so this is just a little video on the HDMI function on the Samsung Galaxy Note. Hope you enjoy it.
So you got yourself a new phone, the Samsung Galaxy Note, and you're thinking to yourself, well, it does everything I want it to do and it does it pretty well. Well, what if everything wasn't enough? What if you wanted it to be a game console or your own personal entertainment system? Well, got you covered. I'll show you in the following. All you need is an HDMI cable, micro USB to HDMI cable, and when you're done you should have something like this, straight to the TV, just like that. Now the controller I'm using is an RII mini Bluetooth controller. I know there are other gamepad controllers out there that are compatible, but this is all I can get my hands on for the moment. And it has a built-in mouse pad as well, which comes in handy, in a full QWERTY keyboard. So say you're feeling a bit lazy one day and you just want to watch some YouTube videos, say College Humor or something, you can just sit down on the couch and chill out and watch anything you want, really, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like watching TV, but a bit different somehow, but it's kind of weird. It's pretty cool though. So say you've just had some friends come over or something and you're all sitting around and you just want to show them some photos quickly or something before you get to some serious gaming, and you can just hook it up and show them and move it around like you normally would with your finger, but with a mouse, which is kind of interesting and pretty cool, but just yet another feature that you can do. But then when you do get into some serious gaming, you can play the normal Android games using the keypad. So this is a game called Sleepy Jack, I'm pretty sure, and just like that you can use the keypad, so just left and right and fire, space, I'm pretty sure. So that's just how it's mapped out for this particular game, but it changes from game to game, which is pretty interesting, and I think it's just what the developers decide to put in is what you can do, really. So yeah, this game you just kind of fly through space and it's all a dream, something like that. So yeah, this is another game called Muffin Night. Don't ask me why the screen just turned around, it sometimes does that for this game. It's one of the weirder games I've played. It has an old grandma announcing the name of the characters that you've become, but it's pretty cool. It's alright. Now for the serious stuff. This is Super Mario, Nintendo 64 version, and it's just a normal ROM that you'd put on a emulator on a computer, actually. So just put the zip file in this program and it should work, and the program is called 64N Oid or something like that, along those lines. And yeah, it's pretty much like the old days, how you just sit down and play Mario, but it's now on your phone, which is kind of weird. Some other games actually have to use the accelerometers because they don't have keypad inputs for some reason. The developers didn't put it in. So this is a game called Jet Car Stunts, and it's one of the games that you can't actually use the control pad for, so you just have to tilt it like that, which is okay, but yeah, as you can see I'm not the best. I'm just kind of hitting things and flying around, but I don't know what's up with that. But speaking of flying, there's another game called X-Plane. It's pretty good. It's kind of like Flight Simulator, but not as intense, really. So you can choose your plane and fly, but I think this also uses the accelerometer and not the actual controller, so I'm just using the phone at the moment. So this is the reason why I'm not a pilot, as you're about to see. Pretty sure a plane is not meant to fly like that. No, it's not. And those green marks, if you're wondering what's going on there, that's just I think it's modelling the pressure on the wings, or the forces. And I'm just going to crash here for you just to show you what happens, in case you're wondering. My brilliant flying. So flaming death, and I lose my GPS signal on my phone for some reason. This is Trial Extreme, pretty much did the worst face plant in history. But once I got going, it's pretty alright. But you need the accelerometer to lean backwards, which is the only problem, but I could use the gamepad for most. This is another N64 game, Bugs Life. I don't know if you remember that movie. With these N64 games, the graphics and the textures can get a bit messed up, and the sound is pretty much always messed up, so I tend to just listen to music while playing. This is another game, Revolt. It was pretty much my favourite game throughout my childhood growing up, so it was really cool to find out that the N64 version, you can run it on your phone now. So it's pretty much a game where you race around with little remote control cars in neighbourhoods and different places, so you can race inside of houses, in gardens, just random places where you find and race remote control cars normally, like inside of supermarkets and everything. It's pretty cool. And you can fire different weapons like water balloons and rockets, so you can have pretty much hours of fun just playing this. But it's cool just doing this on your phone as well. It's pretty much like how I remember it, except the textures are really messed up in this one, and a bit of lag sometimes. But even the level editor works, so you can build your own levels and test your cars on it and create custom races, which was one of the parts I really enjoyed about this game, which is cool that it still works here. So this is the good old Legend of Zelda on all the N64 version anyway. And just as a side point about all of this, this is pretty hefty on the battery, because this phone is pushing out full 1080p video for all of this. But strangely enough, you have to have a charger to even run this. There's a side output for this, the HDMI cable, and you have to have a charger. And even then the battery stays pretty much the same, doesn't charge or even goes down a little bit, so it's just how much. You can see the drain. This is another game called Jimmy Patea or something like that, I can't remember, sorry, and I just died. This is another game called Wind Up Night. You can use the gamepad for this fully, it all works, and I just died again. This is another game called Evac. It's kind of like Pac-Man, but with a bit of a modern twist and more of a storyline. This is Air Attack HD, pretty sure all of you guys know it, just the usual. You have to use the mouse here if you're going to use a gamepad, pretty much for this one. This is Shadowgun. Do not question me on my skills here, because I think here, using this particular keyboard is pretty much impossible to look around and also to fire, just too many keys. I don't know why if you'd do this, but if you wanted to navigate somewhere you can. A note here, the camera actually does not work, it just says that message. If you wanted to check your email or whatever, you still can do that, scrolling around using the gamepad, which is pretty interesting. And last of all, video playback. You can just go and browse the file and play any video you like, really, just like that. And yay, it's ending, there's fireworks. Big party. And with that pretty much rounds up the video. So please rate, comment and subscribe, and pass this video on if you like it. Cheers guys, catch ya. Oh, and an interesting fact actually, this whole entire video was shot in an HTC HD2 running Windows Phone 7.